Hey guys, welcome back to Ox Tools. I'm Tom. So we're putting together another Meatloaf here. This is Meatloaf 75, so we're squeaking up on 100 here pretty soon, which is kind of amazing to me. Got a few things. Got some viewer appreciation stuff that showed up. A couple little packages. We got a fellow YouTube creator sent some stuff in. I want to sit down and just kind of discuss comments on videos a little bit. We'll talk about that. A little bit on t-shirts. Let's see, what else? Oh, I got a story about a micrometer that I repaired that you guys will probably get a kick out of. And then I have a solution to a problem that I created for myself, I think. So, which I want your help with and your opinion on. So, we'll talk about that too. So, let's go over to the Snap-on toolbox over there, and we'll go look at some things, and we'll talk about some stuff. Okay? Okay, got some stuff here. Got a couple of viewer appreciation deals here. Got kind of an update on my digital micrometer here that's been out of commission, I don't know, for a couple of months. And there's a whole saga there. That's it's kind of an interesting story, and but in the end it came out good. So I thought I'd share it with you guys, and so you could get something out of that. So just a little bit far for looking at stuff up close here. So I'm going to drag the camera over a little bit closer, and we'll look at this stuff close up. But there's a couple of other things I wanted to talk about too. One is you guys may have noticed that I haven't been doing as many comments lately, and I just wanted to kind of address it on camera. And what's going on is I've been extremely busy at work. There's a big push on several fronts, and we're peaking right now on several projects. So some of the guys that follow me on Instagram know they see some of the stuff that we're working on at work. But it's really curtailed my time working on videos and working in the shop here. Now, just so you know, I have been working in the shop here and filming it, but it's kind of some special footage that I'll share with you guys a little later on. So it's a whole build, and I think I just want it to come out all at once, and you guys will get to see that, and I think you'll get a kick out of it. So. So yes, I've been working here. I just haven't been posting as many videos. So I still try to pop one out at least a week, and you know, but I'm not doing the 3 a week that I was a while back. And so just know that I am filming some stuff, and you guys will get to see it. The other thing I wanted to talk about too was. We got some tools last week. There's some very generous folks out there that have excess tools and tooling that they can't use, and I showed some of this stuff on camera. And I suggested, I opened my big mouth and I said, hey, this would be nice to send this out to folks that could use this, right? Well, there's a lot of folks that can use this stuff, let me tell you. So I got many email responses about this, and so then my problem is, who does it go to, right? Do I just decide, or do we do it in some kind of quote unquote fair and equitable way, or have a little fun doing it? I don't know. And I have an idea that I wanted to run by you, by the viewership, and see what you guys thought. So so we're going to talk about that a little bit here in a minute, and see what you think about that. So what else we got? The t-shirts kicked off again, and there'll be some more video on that. I'll show some close-ups of the new logo. So the old logo's gone, so don't worry. If you've got your store credit, you can just go back and exercise your store credit on the campaign that you used the first time. Support Ox Tool Co. T-shirt, and we'll put a link up here on the screen so you guys have that again. But you can redeem your store credit, and it's the new logo. They'll never print the old logo again. I made sure of that. So, and we got it all squared away, and everything's happy. You know, hopefully there's not too many upset people out there, and you guys were able to get your store credit that you had coming to you. So anyway, I apologize for that. You know, I take responsibility for it. The buck stops here. And you know, Teespring stepped up also and did the right thing too. So it's all happy. So okay, so let's zoom in a little bit and we'll keep talking some more and show you some stuff. Okay, so this first one here, let's take a look at these here. This is from William Ching, and he's in Southern California. Here in California. Hello. Anyway, he's a longtime viewer, and he sent me a really nice note, and we chatted on email a little bit, and he wanted to send something into the show, and I said, okay, great, fine, thank you very much. And so he sent a couple of things here, and we'll talk about them. Let's look at these first. These are Ferd files, okay, horse brand. Well, Ferd, I guess, means horse in German. But he sent me a couple of files and a couple of their new super spiffy ergonomic handles, and these are even better than the other ones. So they're hard plastic underneath, but they have a what I would call kind of a grippy motorcycle grip feel to them. You know, outer. It's slightly soft, but you don't have to hold on to them very hard, and they don't slip. So I don't know how to demonstrate that on camera. Maybe, I don't know, I can poke my fingernail into it. Maybe you can see that. So my fingernail indents that. Actually, you know what? I got an idea. So I think I just thought of a way to maybe look at those. So, but anyway, we have this looks like just a mill bastard file here, and it's a very nice file. It's nice and straight, it's pretty thick, and it looks pretty good. Now, their files are sheared on the end here, where they blank them off, which is kind of interesting. And we'll give that one a try and see how that looks. And then this other one here, this is what's called a long angle lathe file. So let's see if we can compare that somehow. Okay. The angle of the teeth is tilted more this way, and it produces a long shearing cut for filing in the lathe, and it's nice and thick too, so that it doesn't bow. And I don't know. Honestly, I don't. I've never had the opportunity to use one of these, to tell you the truth. It's you'd think, right? I have a file fetish, right? So you'd think I'd have one, but I just don't. I just never bought one, and I always used a bastard or a flat file to do filing in the lathe. Now, what this does have is it has two safe edges. That way, you can't dink your. That's an ox word, guys. You can't dink the shoulders if you're turning a bunch of different diameters, right? So, but that's a good heavy file, and once again, it's a really nice handle. Now, what I like to do is I clean up the ends a little bit, and because this has got a little sharp corners on it and a little burr on it. So what I'll do is I'll belt sand a little radius on that and just kind of deburr the ends, because that's, you know, you're kind of holding on to that when you're filing, or you end up touching that when you're filing. And I do the same thing on these too, because you're never filing way out at the end like that, and it's just, you know, keeps you from gouging something or catching it on something. Anyway, William, thank you very much. Those are really nice files. I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy those. I'm gonna try them out real soon. So now they sent something else here too, and my buddy John Marcus at PTC Instruments will recognize this box here because it came out of his factory. John Marcus is the proprietor of Pacific Transducer Corporation, otherwise known as PTC. And what William sent me here is a little durometer, okay? And this is called a pencil durometer because it has a slim, small diameter shank on it. So let me, I'm gonna pull in even closer on this so you guys can see this, and we'll play around with it, and I'll show you how you check the calibration, and then I think, yeah, I have a little piece of rubber here that that we'll check also. So we'll check that out. Let me shift the camera around. Okay. So here's this pencil durometer here. We're going to pull that out, and we'll pull out the little calibration block here. And so what it is it's got a little indenter there, and when you push on that, you get a reading. Okay. And the idea is that you take a I hope this is in the frame. Make sure, yeah, it is. Okay, I'll scoot up a little bit. You take a little rubber sample like this, and now I've already done this a couple of times, so let me just make sure I remember the number. Yeah, I do. So you push it down until it bears flat, and you take a quick reading. So the longer you sit there, then the thing can drift a little bit. But this is an O scale durometer, okay, and Shore O. And Shore is a range of scales similar to metal Rockwell hardness scales, but it's for soft materials or relatively soft materials, all the way from foam up to very hard plastics. And actually, this is the other thing I was going to do. Now, this isn't ideal here because it's curved, but actually, you know what? I want to look first. Oh, good. Yeah, we're in range here. Okay. So, you know, I was saying that these are soft, and I can kind of indent with my fingernail, but I think it said, what did it say? 90, 85 or 90, something like that. Yeah, 80 something. Okay. So that gives you an idea of the hardness of the handle, right? And then this was a little softer, okay, at 75 roughly, okay? Now, here, this is my favorite part here is the little calibration deal here. So what this is this is a little calibration block so that you can verify the durometer reading. But it's very clever, actually, how they did this. And so you go, well, how would they calibrate something, that's kind of soft, right? Well, what they've done is they've made a little flexure, okay? So this is a little piece of blue tempered shim stock, okay? And from the looks of this, looks like about 15 thousandths thick, something like that. But as you vary the length of this thing, it's a spring. So basically it deflects a certain amount under a certain load, right? So you have a spring in here and you have a spring in here, so you can actually, they probably compare this against a master or something like that. And what the master looks like, I don't know. But the springiness of steel is very, very constant. So now it changes with temperature, but normal ambient room temperature, it's pretty consistent. So what they've done here is they've made this little flexure, and I suspect that center distance is pretty important for them. How sensitive it is, I don't know. I'd have to do some calculations to see. But this one is O scale 46 plus or minus 1 point. Okay, so if we stick this in here, and it's got a little centering dot there so that you get it in the right spot, and I push it down, that should be pretty close to 46. And I can't see it, but I'm hoping you guys can. So let me move it around, make sure that you guys can see that, okay? I'll turn it a little bit in case there's some glare on there, okay? So anyway, this is my favorite part here, is it's a little flexure, and you know, this is a pretty simple thing to make, actually. So as opposed to sending out a piece of rubber that somehow you verify, I don't know. So anyway, William, thank you. This is a really nice gift. These things, they don't give them away, that's for sure. But if you have to check rubbers and plastics and elastomers and stuff like that, you actually need a few of these. The shore ranges overlap one another, so there's I can't even remember now. I know there's about eight scales, and they all kind of overlap actually quite a bit. You can look up where. So if you're measuring on the O scale, you can see what it is on the D scale and all that. They have a little chart where you can look at that. So, William, thank you very much. Those are some really nice gifts. These furred files and handles and the little durometer. And thank you, sir. Appreciate it. That's pretty cool. Okay, so this next one comes to us from our buddy, our fellow YouTube creator, Ray Cornelia, and he sent me some stickers. He's getting on the sticker bandwagon like everybody else, which is pretty cool. These are nice to send out to viewers that are interested in them. And there's his card, and raysgarage.com. Okay, cool. So there's his email and all that, and I'll put a link up to his channel there on the screen for you. But Ray sent me some stickers, and he's here in California, kind of about midway down the state, and he does some gunsmithing, and he has the most immaculate shop on the planet, I believe. So Ray's been up here, he's visited here, and him and his I don't know, soon-to-be son-in-law, Philip Monday, who works at a local CNC shop down there. And I follow Philip on Instagram, and he follows me, so we see what we're working on. But Ray's daughter and Philip are together. So anyway, Ray, thank you very much. This is cool. Got some more stickers, and I gotta find some more flat surfaces to stick all these stickers on. And thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And you guys, if you haven't checked out Ray's channel, go check it out. There's a link for you, and you can go see what Ray's working on, and Ray and Philip. So check it out. Thanks, guys. Okay, so this next one. This next one is actually more of a saga than anything else. So I've had this particular Mitutoyo micrometer for actually a really long time, and you know, it's a digital micrometer, and you know, I've been happy with it. Other than I don't like the ratchet thimble on this particular one after using some others, but. You know, this is a $200 micrometer at the time, right? And this reads out to, what does it read out to? This will read down to microns, so it'll read 40 millionths, okay? And it's been reliable, and when I was running CNC lathes, this was really nice because you'd measure diameters and you just key in the number, so you're not making math errors and stuff like that. It's just one less thing to worry about, which is kind of nice. Anyway, I kind of ended up liking using that. Well, anyway, it was getting kind of crunchy or sticky or whatever, and it turns out that there's a little tiny screw in there that is deep down inside there, and the little tip. Apparently I sheared the little tip off somehow, and I'm not quite sure how that happened. It shouldn't really happen in normal use. Maybe something loosened up, I don't know. So I took it all apart, and I find this itty bitty little screw in there, and it's got, you know, this is an M1.5, or let's see, no, it's an M3 screw, but it has a very funny thread pitch on it, okay? It's, I don't even remember now. It's a real fine pitch. It's like a instrument thread pitch or something. So you can't just buy a set screw and modify it or whatever, and it's kind of small. And I said, hey, you know, you ought to be able to buy the dang thing, right? That's what I said. Well, I called Meditoyo and I ran around in circles with them, so I spent a fair amount of time on the phone. Well, yeah, you can. I finally got a diagram out of them, and then I identified the screw. Oh, by the way, we don't sell factory direct. All right. So I couldn't buy the screw from them, so I was going to buy it through a local dealer and do that. And then I got the bright idea. I said, hey, eBay's loaded with junked up micrometers. In fact, let's pour this one out. Now this was together when I got it, okay, but you can see this thing, the battery corroded in there, and they had cut the encoder leads, and yeah, if you ever want to see the inside of one of these, here it is, right? Okay. So yeah, we'll take a look at some of this, and so I said, hey, I'll buy a similar model, and one that's junked up, sold for parts, and it sold for cheap. So this was $22 or something to me with shipping and everything, right? Nobody was bidding against me or anything like that. Well, I said, I'm so damn smart, I was patting myself on the back that I'm recycling, right? I'm going to steal the screw out of a dead one here and rejuvenate Old Faithful here, right? Well, I get the thing, and I take it apart, and son of a gun, somebody had already been in there, and they stole the little encoder wheel out of it, and now this is the reed head for the encoder wheel, okay? So they had clipped some of this stuff off and taken it out, right? And I'm like, so it didn't have the screw. They took the screw with them, and this little flat disc that's in there that has this pointed screw in it, right? So I had everything but the screw. So this was like repair us, interrupt us here. Yeah, this really. So now I'm into the project, $22 or whatever. So I'm like, crap, right? I gotta get these screws, or should I just buy a new, a whole new micrometer? But that doesn't sit right because there's nothing really wrong with this one, right? So you can see where I'm going here. It was a nightmare, right? Well, I was talking to my buddy James Kilroy. And for those of you guys that don't know, go check out James's channel. He does 3D printing, and he's the guy that printed these things here, okay? And go check out his channel. And he said, hey, why don't you give Long Island Indicator a call? They can get all kinds of little parts like that, and they might even have it. And I said, I thought they just did indicators. And he goes, no, they do micrometers, they do all kinds of stuff. So anyway, I talked to a guy named Renee out there at Long Island Indicators, and guess what? I can get the screws. Well, the screws cost me about $22. There it is, right there. So $22.90 with shipping and everything. Okay. So now, when you buy only one screw at a time, right? One screw's $11, and well, yeah. 2 screws for $11 each. Anyway, so anyway, I was able to get the screws, and so all this was a waste, and it was an interesting exercise. If nothing else, is taking things apart, but ultimately, so anyway, this exercise, sometimes you have really good intentions, but they don't always work out, right? But the bottom line is, I got my micrometer back, and I'm happy. It seems to be nice and smooth again, and I checked it on some gauge blocks, so it seems to be fine. So, but let's take a quick look at some of these parts here, and how this thing comes apart is kind of interesting. This is the business end here. So this is the spindle, and I don't know if how well you can see it there, but there's a little V groove that runs down here, down the spindle, okay, and then that's the micrometer thread there. But that little screw that I lost, or the tip broke off, it indexes with that groove. So there's a little encoder wheel on here, okay, that's spinning next to this pickup. Okay, and it's making counts. Okay, and as this threads in and threads out, that encoder wheel stays in one position, so it has to key or
think of this more like a spline or a key, so that this little encoder wheel can stay up against this, but the screw can move in and out along it. Okay, so anyway, that's the story of the little screw. And so I have a spare spindle here. There's a little preload spring. I got a spare. This goes around the this bit. Excuse me, here, and keeps the barrel. Oops, wrong way. Keeps the barrel nice and snug on there, so that you can rotate it and get your index lined up. I do. Oops. That's a little sleeve that that goes up against the spring that helps push up against that, and then there's an extra barrel and cap. So in reality here, this micrometer is actually still functional. Okay, so if we were to kind of put it back together, you can use it as a manual micrometer. Okay, now this one doesn't, this is either the friction thimble thing is damaged here, or it never had one, and there are micrometers that don't have a release mechanism, and this may be one of them. So you could use this like a 0 to 1 manual micrometer. It just has a lot of extra bulk to it for that. So anyway, that's the saga of the of the Mitutoyo micrometer. But hey, check out Long Island Indicator. These guys are pretty good to deal with. I think I'm going to send them some indicators to clean up and kind of refurbish. And so if you got a sick micrometer or whatever, give them a call or shoot them an email or send them a picture, and they may be able to help you. Thanks, guys. Okay. So this is a couple of the things that that Sam Gable sent. I don't know, over a week ago now, and I suggested that that I was going to distribute these tools to people that could make use of them, and I do want to do that. And now my problem, as I mentioned earlier, was I opened my big mouth. And actually, a lot of people stepped up and said that they could make use of these things. In particular, believe it or not, these 3/8 insert tools was very popular. And this is this little Char set with some inserts and some extra screws and little 3/8 shank tools. So there's a lot of interest in those. I don't know, 8 or 10 emails on that, and then probably 6 or 8 emails on this, and then 3 or 4 on the squares. So what I realized, I said, geez, I kind of put my foot in it, and so who do I send it to, right? Do I just pick somebody and my favorite or what? I don't want to do that, right? I want these things to go to people that will cherish them and use them, okay? And that's really the key, is people that are going to use them, okay? And that's a hard thing for me to decide, right? And you almost have to interview everybody and how you're going to use it or whatever, right? And that doesn't make any sense either. So I was trying to think of a kind of an equitable way to distribute some of this stuff. I mean, people send stuff into the show all the time, okay? I don't ask for the stuff, but they just want to do it, okay? And who am I to say no, right? They're being generous, right? And they send it to me with the thought of, hey, maybe Tom can use this, or maybe he knows somebody that can use it, okay? And I think that's the key, is Tom does know some people that can use it, and that's you guys out there, the viewership. But how do I find you guys? That's the kicker, right? And how do I make it fair so other people don't say, oh, well, he's sending all his stuff to Adam or something, right? And Adam's got tons of stuff. So Adam, don't worry, I'm not going to send these to you, okay? So you got enough stuff. So I have this idea, and I just wanted to run it by you and get some comments on it. And I'm not going to do it this week. I want to read some comments and I'll get some feedback on it. So here's the idea. So my idea is to have some kind of a raffle, okay? And they would be one thing at a time, okay? So let's just say it's these things right here, okay? These insert tools. So we'll call it Tom's Tool Raffle, right? And the idea is that you guys would get your hats in a ring, okay? So and we'd pull a name out of the hat basically, and then that person, whoever gets pulled out of the hat, I'll mail this anywhere in the world that the U.S. mail goes to, okay? And I'll pack it up and I'll ship it, and I'll ship it free of charge, okay? Now, so how do I collect all those names in a meaningful way that's specific to this item? I have an idea on that too, and so what I thought is it's possible that what we can do is to enter the raffle. We use something, some crowdfunding thing, for example, like GoFundMe. So all the viewership that's interested in this particular thing, they send $1 in, okay? So it's like buying a lottery ticket, right? You send $1 in, and it's $1, whether it's this, or whatever I come up with, okay? And you get a chance at winning that, so to speak, okay? And then those names will come to me in an orderly fashion, okay, and will be item specific. It'll be really easy for me to keep track of. That's the other part of this. It has to be easy for me to keep track of. So I'll have this group of names, and I'll throw them in a hat, and we'll pull a name out, and it'll be, John Q. Smith, whoever, right? And ta-da, John Q. Smith won. Hey, he lives in, Iceland. Okay, well, guess what? John Q. Smith, I'm going to put this in a box. I'm going to take it to the post office, and I'm going to send it to Iceland. And your only investment is $1. Okay, so anyway, this is kind of what I'm thinking. Sure, some other folks are going to contribute $1. Well, that's going to pay for the $60 or whatever it's going to take to ship that to Iceland. Okay, and so. Let me know what you think of that idea, or if you have a suggestion for an improvement on that idea, because that's kind of where I'm headed with it. I'm not going to do anything just yet. I just want to feel it out. And but people send some fantastic stuff into the show here, and but honestly, a lot of it, I already have. I have some of these things, right? And I don't really need 3 more machinist squares. But you know what? There is somebody out there that does, okay? And, if he sends in $1 or his entry or whatever, and he gets a chance at that, hey, maybe only 10 people sign up, whatever, right? So you got a 1 in 10 chance, or, 1 in 100 chance, whatever. A lot better than the lottery. So anyway, let me know what you guys think of that idea, because that's kind of what I'm thinking about. And here's 3 things that would probably go that way. And I've got all kinds of other stuff around here too. Trust me. I got a lot of stuff. Okay? Let me know what you think.